of the storylines that I'm really intrigued by is just the play of these young Celtics, man. They've kind of turned that corner as a team. Like, we know what they have with Kemba, with Gordon Hayward. Actually, he's out right now, but we know, that core is there. But watching this duo, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, man, they look like the real deal, and a scary thought even for like the Raptors and for the Bucks there at the top of the conference. What's your thought on this dynamic duo? Are they the next dynasty? Are they for real?
Man, I've been thinking a lot about Jayson Tatum because early on in the year, I was really high on him, and I still really like him. I like his game a lot. But sometimes I watch him and I'm like, that dude isn't a superstar to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm by myself in this, but yeah, I like his game, but I don't feel like he gets good shots. You know what I mean? Like, he's a tough shot maker, but I just don't see him getting good shots on a consistent basis. But I like his game. I personally like Jaylen Brown more than I like Jayson Tatum.
Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Why is that?
Like, this dude is tripping. I like Jaylen Brown's shot selection more than I like Jayson Tatum's, and I like him defensively more than I like Jayson Tatum. And I think he's a difference maker for that team. Like, when he plays well, they play really well. When he doesn't play well, like, you'll see that they struggle because Jayson Tatum, like, he gets all the accolades and the big highlights, and it looks great because he's shooting the step back threes and all that stuff. That looks really cool. But when it comes down to it, like, he's like, Jaylen Brown is a dude in the trenches, in the dirt, getting it done, getting the good buckets, putting the good shots up. I want you guys, everybody out here is like tripping, like, this dude is crazy. Like, watch the games, watch Jayson Tatum's shot selection, and watch how many times you're like, what is that, bro? Like, and when he's making a shot, it looks good, right? It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks good, bro. Man.
He can bury it. He can bury them when he's taking bad shots, though. And we've seen it so many times before. I don't know if it's going to pop up again in this series.
I don't know, man. I got to cut you off there, bro. I agree 100% with you. I think that Jaylen Brown is a very, very underrated piece. That's why he got paid in the offseason, but he's a truly underrated piece, and he brings that defensive tenaciousness that any team needs that's going to make a long run in the playoffs. And I think I used to share a very similar sentiment about Jayson Tatum that you did, is that he takes tough shots, and that, he kind of seems like the skill set, like, there's not a lot more room for growth, really.
Right.
It kind of seems like that, but it does sound a lot like his favorite player, Kobe Bryant. It sounds a lot like him. He takes bad shots, but he makes them. They're tough shots for a lot of people, but he can make them. And those step back threes, like we've seen Harden, we've seen Luka, it's kind of becoming a shot that's not a bad shot anymore. Getting game winners. Lillard's hit a game winner on step back threes. I don't know. I think that you're right in that Jaylen Brown, his level, people are putting him, they're not giving him the love that he deserves as a player. He's a superstar in this league, and I think the NBA talent around would know that. But I also think that Jayson Tatum does have that elite level capability, and it on the surface as a player, you're like, man, he's just, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's maxed out. But I think he has that it factor that you can't really teach in hoop.
That's what I see a lot of times too, which frustrates me with him, because I'm like, that's a bad shot. Like, no, but he's making these shots, and I'm like, he can't keep. Like, I feel like if I was a coach, I'd be like, yo, dude, what are you doing? But if he keeps making these shots, you're just like, well, I guess just keep shooting him. So he keeps proving me wrong, bro. Like, I can't lie. Like, every time
he reminds me a lot of like Donovan Mitchell too. I kind of think the same thing about him. He takes a lot of shots. I'm like, man, there's no way he can sustain that level of play with his ability. But it's like, I think when some players just have that it factor, it kind of changes the dynamic. And I mean, you could be right 100%. It may like kind of disappear. You may see Jaylen start to overtake some of that. Yeah. But I don't know, man. The way he's playing, this playoff run really will define, I think, his legacy in Boston.
That's so true. This is a huge year for them, the two of them together with Kemba. And they got another draft pick somehow, bro. Like, man. Like, talking about the dynasty, like the main question that you asked, like, it's hard to see them having a losing season for a very long time, for sure, man. It is. For sure.
Well, I mean, they beat up on a team that just, Ben Simmons was out, obviously. They beat up on a team that just They did what they were supposed to do, and that's what you expect from players like Tatum and Brown, is to really elevate when the time is right, and you sense a weak opponent, you go hard.